Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this training. My name is Runyararo Jolene Rukara. I'm the Manager Research and Innovation at Forum Secretariat, and I am your host. Thank you all for coming. It is very interesting that we have had a lot of interest in this training, and our numbers are keeping on rising. So as we are talking, we are hoping that many people will join in to be part of this training. So I want to greet all of you and welcome you to this training. I would allow my colleagues whom I'm hosting this program with to just say hello to all of you so that we know whom we are dealing with. So I will call out their names. They will just put on their video and say their name and what they do at Forum Secretariat. And then we continue with the program. So colleagues, I will start with my colleague, Dr. Francis Otto. Please, could you introduce yourself to the group?
Hello, everybody. My name is Francis Otto. I work at Forum Secretariat as Manager of Knowledge Hub. And I'm here because this training is online, and because all online interaction is managed by my unit. But I'm also here to provide support. I know that most of you are in the critical stage of your research. Doing data analysis is a very important thing. And that's why the number, as Jolene has said, has continued to rise because you want to get the skill that will help you in interpretation of your data that you have gathered, and for you to be able to make critical, analytical, and logical reasoning to determine what they present as you prepare to write your research. So you are most welcome to this training, and we'll be providing you any technical support, which detail will be said by my colleague David later. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Otto. Could I have David Martin Amito to introduce himself?
Thank you very much, Jolene. David Martin Amito. I work at Forum as a technical specialist on systems administration. I work under Francis, and basically we shall be here to help you and also provide some support where there is need. So basically we shall go through some of the key things you will need in order to make sure that the training is as interactive as possible, and also you should be able to gain. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David. Could I call Selma?
Good morning, everyone. I'm Selma Ndapwangi Tuamata. I'm a technical specialist, research and innovation at Forum Secretariat, and I work with Dr. Runyararo under that unit. Thank you very much, and nice to have you all.
Selma, Adija?
Everyone, thank you. My name is Adija Matabaro Wivin. I also work at the Forum Secretariat as a technical specialist in charge of staff development and academic mobility. I welcome all of you. I'm happy. I'm sure our GTA students, DAD students, I'm seeing them on the list of participants, postdoc, a Paris student, and others. I'm happy that you have attended, and I wish all of you to be focused so that this training may be useful to your studies. As we may wish all of you to be completing your studies on time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Adija. I would like to ask our facilitators, Professor Susan, just to give a brief about yourself, followed by Helen.
Good morning. I'm Susan Balabatumwebaze from Makerere University. I'll be facilitating in this training. You're all welcome. Just stay focused. Everything will be okay. Thank you very much.
A very good morning to everyone. My name is Namaweje Helen. I'm a lecturer at Makerere University in the Department of Statistical Methods and Actuarial Science. I'm looking forward for a great interaction with you, and I hope we achieve all our expectation at the end of the training. You're most welcome.
So much, Helen. I would like to call our Deputy Executive Secretary, Dr. Alice Mwetwa, to introduce yourself and also give a welcome remark. Dr. Mwetwa.
Thank you very much, Jolene. Good morning. I greet you this morning from Lusaka. I'm actually joining in from Lusaka, Zambia. But my name is Alice Mutiti Mwetwa, and I work at the RUFORUM Secretariat as the Deputy Executive Secretary for Program Development and Implementation. And I just want to send you greetings from the Secretariat on behalf of Professor Adipala and all the colleagues at the Secretariat, including the ones that are here that have already greeted you this morning. We are very, very excited to see that there's been so much, an overwhelming response from all of you. And we do recognize that you're all calling us from across the entire African continent. So this is very, very pleasing. And just to mention, I know that all of you are very familiar with RUFORUM, but just to say one or two things about RUFORUM is that RUFORUM is a network of universities, African universities, and typically the membership is of those universities that are teaching agriculture science and related sciences. So veterinary medicine, environment, and so on and so forth. So this network began in 2004, with a membership only of 10. But today, this is a network now of 129 universities across 38 African countries. And as you may be aware, we are currently existing in all the parts of the African continent. So we do operate from our Vision 2030. And under that vision, we have 4 flagship programs. So one of the flagship programs is what we call CREATE. So CREATE is research and teaching excellence. And this particular flagship focuses mostly on designing and implementing high impact training so that our students, as well as the teachers can both share in experiential learning and innovation and engaging with communities. So what we have this morning as part of this training is responding to what that flagship program is set out to do. We realize that you're all at different, the point where you're collecting your data or managing your data or analyzing it. So this is a very important stage, whether you're doing your master's or PhD. And we realize that managing data and analyzing it and making inferences, as well as making recommendations and other things, can be a daunting task. So this is, we do hope that this training will be useful to you as you continue with your research processes. So to start, once again, I want to thank Professor Susan, as well as Professor Helen, for accepting to come and facilitate for us this 6-day training. I do wish you well, all of you, during these 6 days. And as Adija said, we do wish you to stay focused. And I think Professor Susan also said that. Stay focused and everything will be okay. So all the best and greetings once again from the RUFORUM Secretariat.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mwetwa, for those welcome remarks. Colleagues who are in attendance of this meeting, we encourage you to keep on writing your names and where you are from. It will be very important for us to know the type of participants we will be having in this meeting. So from at this moment, I would like to call Dr. Otto to give a brief say about this meeting and what it means in the near future for all of us. Thank you. Dr. Otto.
Thank you so much, Dr. Runyararo, and thank you once again, our participants from various parts of Africa. We do know that you are joining from different countries, and as Alice has said, the demand for this particular training has been overwhelming. I must say that each of us every day are trying to search for knowledge and trying to make effort to improve the societies in which we are. And you are at a very crucial stage of your study. Some of you, as mentioned, are doing the master's and others are for your PhD. In both cases, the research analysis is very important. RUFORUM really emphasizes on sharing of knowledge, imparting skills, so we can work together to transform our community, Africa, so that it can be a better place. So this particular training has been a traditional training provided by RUFORUM, but in previous cases, we would get students together in a face-to-face convening and then ask the experts to share the skills and help the students get better skills of how to manage their data. However, as you all know, that because of COVID, and of course, thankfully, the potential of the technology, this meeting could not be done online, face-to-face. So I'm happy that I can see the number increasing. We are now approaching 500, and I think in 1 hour's time, we will be about 1,000, which is something very, very important. It is important that we can interact online, and we want you to feel as much as possible that this training is as if it were done face-to-face. It is important that you get to understand that you have the freedom, of course, with some limitation that is provided by technology, to participate, and we call upon you to be as interactive as possible. And that's why after my speech, we'll provide you, somebody else will provide you with the guidance on how you can interact, so you don't leave anything that you're thinking without putting it out. So I once again wish you a good training. And for those who may miss some part of the training, the good thing is that we are recording this, and it's also available online. So you can review this. In case you miss any part, you will always get it again. I think without wasting a lot of time, because you need more time with the facilitators than myself, I wish to end here and then get you back, Dr. Runyararo.
Thank you so much, Dr. Otto, for those wise words to the participants. May I call David Martin Amitu to take you through how we are going to interact on this training, the do's and the don'ts, and how we are going to proceed in this training. Since we are large numbers, we need to know what we are to do and what we are not to do so that we have a smooth training. David, over to you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Onyararo. As Francis had highlighted earlier, that the number was approaching 500 and we really need to interact. But by the time he was speaking, it was really approaching 500 and now we are past 500. And so we need to see that we are able to interact with each other. So basically, in your screen, you must be seeing now the icons of raise hand, Q&A, polls, chat. But you don't see the microphone and the camera. We intentionally did that in order to ensure that you can actually interact without interfering with others. So basically, the option of raising a hand is given to you in such a way that if you want to speak and the facilitator has selected you to speak, we shall enable you to have a camera and the microphone. So, but once you are being selected, if you raise the hand, but for now, what you can use for interacting is the chat option. That chat option, we encourage you to use it for comments. And then if you have a question, there is a icon for Q&A. And a Q&A is where you indicate the question. And if possible, you can indicate maybe the facilitator's name, which you are directing the question, because the facilitators are going to be presenting different sections. So you can highlight their name and then you ask the question. And then let's leave the chat for comments only, such that it's easier to track your question. But if you put the question in the chat, right now we have over 100 messages in the chat section. So it will be difficult to see your question in the chat. So as we go along, all questions, put them under Q&A, comments and any other thing, you can indicate them under the chat. So I pass it back to Dr. Onyararo. Thank you very much.
Thank you, David, for those few words. And just to echo what David had said is when you have questions, please do not put them in the chat. Put them in the Q&A section so that it will be easy for the trainers to pick your question. If you put on the chat, we'll just think that it is just one of those comments and we will not be able to trace your question and you will not be responded to. So please make sure you put your questions and you'll be answered in the Q&A section. At this moment, I want to hand over to our facilitators, Professor Susan Balaba and Dr. Helen Namaweje. Professor, over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Onyararo. We are going to first present the results from the training needs assessment questionnaire that we sent out on Friday. And we were able to capture the first 60 questionnaires, but most of you sent your questionnaires back to us, which is really good. But because of time, we could only capture those ones. So I'm presenting the results from the questionnaire. Okay. So this is the scientific data management course using R programming language. An overview, it's a virtual training which will take place between 16th to 21st of August 2021. And I'm Susan Balabat Mwebaze. My colleague is Dr. Helen Namaweje. Now, the course objectives for this course are to equip students with the knowledge and skills to download R, RStudio, R packages, install them on their computers, and also use R Markdown and R scripts where you can write you can write your commands and then store them. To equip students with the knowledge and skills to use different and efficient techniques used in data visualization applied in R programming language. The other main objective is to enhance students' analytical skills to produce manuscripts for publication that contain sound statistical facts. During this training, we are not going to train you to produce manuscripts, but we are only going to provide you with statistical facts that you can input in your manuscript and then produce a publishable manuscript later. Expected outcomes. At the end of the training, we anticipate that the participants will be able to, or will have enhanced knowledge of R programming language to manipulate data, describe, analyze, and model the state of a biological or agricultural system in both quantitative and qualitative manner, as well as other fields like economics and health. Apply key statistical concepts such as correlation, regression analysis, categorical data analysis techniques, and generalized linear models to data using R. Now, the results from the pre-training assessment, one of the questions was to find out their expectation. The main objective of the training needs assessment was to identify the gaps on data management and data analysis using R programming language. We also requested for your expectations. Now, these expectations were so many, as you can look at the numbers, around 160, indicating that these were multiple responses, and they've been summarized. And the main expectations which came out were to acquire knowledge and skills in using R for data entry and organized raw data, to acquire knowledge and skills in using R for data management. In brackets, somebody mentioned different data formats. To acquire knowledge and skills in R data analysis. Then several people mentioned that they are beginners in advanced statistical analysis. So they wanted to acquire knowledge in statistical computing, which includes programming in R. Better understand data analysis with R, especially handling experimental and survey data. You can see that I didn't combine those two responses with the rest because they stood out, so I left them as they were. For better understanding, use, and application of RStudio software, getting hands-on experience with R software. Some expect to prepare preparation, interpretation, and presentation of results using R. I expect to be familiarized or familiar with different R data formats. That is also repeated. To have some genotypic data, I have some genotypic data, sorry about that. I have to analyze. I wish to use R software to analyze them. So this particular person, there were two with genetical data from genetics and molecular science. Then this particular one was so specific that he hopes that the training will be simple, interactive, effective, mesmerizing. You know, I had to capture everything because it was so different from the rest of the responses. That's why you see the whole response was captured. And I also expect to become proficient in creating and editing file contents using R, as well as data management and manipulation, which we are going to do. Somebody expects to improve knowledge in data visualization, to improve principles of choice of statistical tools, to learn some knowledge in ecological data analysis, which is more complex than experimental. It depends on your level of understanding. Learn application of R in AGPM modeling and predicting variation in maize yields. Understanding how to use R programming in econometric modeling and data analysis. So those were the general one, but the first three came out, which included data entry, data management, and data analysis. And that's what we are going to do. We hope that by the end of the training, we will be able to capture, or we would have achieved your expectations. Okay? Now, majority of the responses included 73% male and 27% female. The highest proportion are pursuing MSc science degrees or Master of Science degree with a 52% frequency, and 42% are pursuing PhD. We had a few people who are pursuing Bachelor of Science, and we also had a few postdoc students. And the general fields are agriculture, plant breeding, agroecology, climate change, food systems, engineering, forestry, etc., to mention but a few. Now, other results. We needed to know the stage of research of our participants. So this is one of the questions. So we find that most of them say they are at concept stage with a 22% response. Overall, if you look at the last column, and then we have 20% at proposal stage. There are few people doing data analysis with 14%, and then 17%, some are doing data analysis and write-up. They are also doing, some of them doing data collection. So the way we've set up this training is such a way that it captures all these stages of research, because we are going to start with the basics. So those who have none will also achieve something, and those who are at the write-up stage will also achieve something. We also wanted to find out whether they are aware of R programming language, and also they've used the R programming language, and the highest proportion indicated that they were not aware, that is 72%, and 61% have not used. So the smaller percentage are aware, and a smaller percentage have used R. So indicating the need for the training. We wanted to find out the skills. For those who said yes, they were aware. The skills in data entry, management, and analysis. And the highest proportion indicated that they had no knowledge of data entry, data management, and analysis in R, irrespective of the fact that they are aware and have used the software. Some have slight knowledge. You can see the percentages are 33, 39 for data management, and 38 for data analysis. So it is indicating that the participants require knowledge in data entry, data management, and data analysis using R programming language. We wanted to know knowledge in statistics so that we do not start from nowhere. We wanted to know whether people knew some descriptive statistics, inferential statistics, etc. And results indicate that most people know about descriptive statistics. You can see some are excellent with a 17%. Others are good with 33%. We have very few people who don't know about descriptive statistics. And this is really good for us, because when we talk about a box plot, a line graph, then people will know what we are talking about. Then when we come to basic inferential statistics, here we are talking of things like t-test, chi-square, regression, Most people, again, are aware and have the knowledge in statistics. Then when we come to interpretation and report writing, most people have slight and moderate knowledge in interpretation and reporting. So these results indicate that we need to still enhance knowledge and skills of participants in descriptive and inferential statistics, as well as interpretation and report writing. Overall, participants require knowledge and skills in R programming language for data entry, data manipulation, data management, data analysis, and interpretation and presentation of results. Based on the results, it's concluded that most participants have moderate knowledge on data management, data analysis, and interpretation of results, and they require major enhancement to enable them undertake their research and publish quality knowledge products. Thank you very much, participants, for having sent in your responses. This is what we captured. We try to capture everything. Even after closing down, I would go through all your responses and see whether there's something different, and this is what we've gotten. Now, I don't know whether people have questions, but if you have questions, I can see 2 questions. Let me see. Somebody is saying, I cannot hear anything. I don't know whether you can hear now, but if you can hear, you can type a yes in the comments so that we can increase the volume. Let me check the chat. And the chat says, yes, yes, we can hear. That is very good. And we are clear. Thank you so much. Now, if you do not have questions, I'm going to hand over to my colleague, Dr. Helen Namaweje, to continue with the R programming. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Susan, for the great introduction. My name is Helen Namaweje, as I introduced myself before, and now we're going to dive into to what our programming language is all about. Dr. Susan, can you stop sharing? Thank you. So now, I sent the materials to you already, but I've got a comment in my chat that some of you haven't yet gotten the materials. Kindly send a message to Susan, and she's going to forward to you. Just send in your email, and then they send to you the materials directly. Okay. We are starting today with our day 1. We really want to understand what our programming language is all about. And there are 2 things that we have to note here. We've got R and then RStudio. The facilitator has already introduced. It's me, Helen, and then Susan. So I'm not so sure if everyone was able to download R. Okay, I've just gotten a comment from Susan that from the file that I sent, kindly unzip, because I sent a zipped document. So you need to unzip, and then all the materials are there. The first thing that we are going to do is that we need to download R. However, I'm not so sure if, I don't want to take it for granted that everyone was able to download R. So still within the materials that I sent you the various steps that we need if we are to use R and then RStudio. So briefly, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to share the website, and then we go step by step, thinking that even you already open your computers, and we go step by step and see how can you open R till you have it on your computer. For those who have not yet done so, because I got some responses whereby some people were saying they failed to download. So we are going to do that in a step by step process. Right now, I've shared my my Google. So what I'm going to do, when you look at the PowerPoint, that I sent, we are going to go on to www.r-project.org. That's where we are going to go. So I'm going to go to that. I'm going to go to http -project.org. Let me hope we are now on the same page. I've moved on to r-project.org. We want to download R. When you reach at this page, when you are following the steps, I'm redoing them again with you. You come here and see getting started. And then on the second line, there is where there's a word that says download R. Can somebody type yes for me to check if we're on the same page? Great, thank you. Okay, now let's click download R. When you download R, it brings you to this page. So you go to where there is Oak Cloud, and then you click on it, because it's where we are going to download from. When you click that, it brings you to this particular page. Depending on the computer, whether you're using Linux or Mac OS or Windows, then you download accordingly. However, still from this same page, you can take your time to read through and see what other things you can see from R, especially under here, where I've got contributed extension packages. We are going to understand more when we say packages, what does that mean? So when you reach here on download R, for my case, I'm using Windows. So I'm going to consider download R for Windows, and I click on it. When I click there, it brings me to this page. What I do, I move to install R for the first time. Check the base, and then on the first line, I click that. The moment I reach that step, I come up here. There is download R 4.11 for Windows. This is the latest version we have so far, the latest version for R. So you click on it. Now, when you click on it, when you look at the left-hand side of your computer in the downloads, you will see that there is a download with an extension .exe. So what you're going to do, We are waiting for the download. So you give it some time. For my case, I already have R on my computer, so I'm not going to install it again. However, the moment the exe file downloads, click on it, and then you follow the prompts. I can share that with you for further steps. This is what I've been talking about. If you're seeing the different steps that I sent to you as well. So the moment R downloads, you're going to see R-4.1.1 Win extension. The moment it downloads, click on it, and then double click on it, and then start following the screen instructions such that you're able to download R. I'm checking then in the chat to ask if you've been able to complete, for those of you who have been able to download R, can you type 1? Okay, I'm getting a communication that's still downloading. If you already have R on your computer, you don't need to download again. For those who are still downloading, the moment the download completes, then you follow the prompts. I can take you through again in case there's somebody who is lost. I said, you go to the www.r-project.r.org/. That is the website we go to download R. The moment you click on it as our stage 1, it will bring you a page like this, which has got the R project for statistical computing. The moment you have that page, you click on download R. Just check on the second line, there is a word download R. You click on it. The moment you click on it, it will bring this page with the crane mirrors. Crane means Comprehensive R Archive Network. So in this particular case, as we are going to move on further, this is where we are going to see that it is a repository that has got different packages that we are going to need as we are running the R programming language. So I know that most of the things are new to most of us, but we are going to move on a bit by bit such that nobody is left behind. So with Crane, it's a comprehensive R archive network for R. So in that particular case, it's where you can find the different packages for R. If you want to update in case you're using an older version, all the things can be found there. So step 3, I said, you move on to on the left-hand side and click on Zero Cloud, and then click on the URL that is there. The moment you click on it as step 3, it will bring you a window that has got download R for Linux, download R for macOS, download R for Windows. Depending on your computer, I said mine is a Windows, so I clicked on download R for Windows. okay? And then after that, you have to give it time and see that the moment you come to step 4, you'll come and click install R for the first time. For those of you who have not yet downloaded R. So when you click that, now you click on download R 4.11 for Windows, depending on whether you're using Windows or you're using Linux. Now, after clicking on that, you'll see an installation file downloading, which is R-4.1.1 win.exe. So you click on it, and then after that, you leave it to you double click on it, you leave it to execute as you follow the screen prompts on your computer. So now I want to ask again in the chat, if you're done with downloading R. If you've, okay. Yes, I'm getting a good response that still downloading. Okay, some installed already. That is good. How do I know it has been installed? Now, when you are clicking the prompts, I don't know, because sometimes you can tell the computer that you reach a certain prompt where it tells you where should it be downloaded. So for my case, I can check. You can check on your desktop. I'm going to share my desktop and then see if you're having the icon that I have, because you're supposed to see an R icon on your computer.
Maybe Susan, in the meantime, as we wait for Helen, can you be explaining certain things on the questions?
Colleagues, Dr. Helena Mawaji is trying to sort something. That's why she has gone on mute and she has put off her camera. Could you please bear with us for just a minute as we sort that out? There are people who are asking about the training materials. We've put them in the chat. Please download the training materials. Also, we have also put the link for downloading. It is put in the chat section. We also put a PDF which explains the steps which you're supposed to take to download R. So if you can go through with that one, it should not be difficult to install the R program. There's someone who's saying I can't see any material. Please go up in the chat section. You will see the training materials folder, and please download it from there. It is very easy. Dr. Namaweji is
yes.
again. So Helen, back to you.
Thank you, Dr. Nyararo. So since many of us have downloaded R, now when you download R, you'll get an icon on your desktop. Or in case you fail to see it, go in the downloads and then you click on it. The moment you click on it after the installation, then I expect you to have an icon like this. If you're seeing the screen that I'm sharing, when you click on that R, I expect you to come up with this particular screen that you're seeing, whereby it is showing you the R version and then the few wordings that are there, that R is a free software and comes with absolutely no warranty and so on. And then we will have a workspace. So I'm going to ask in the chat and see if people have been able to see participants have been able to open R. In case you've done so, kindly type 1. Great, thank you. Wonderful. Yes, that is perfect. People have been able to download R. Now everyone has R on their computer. Now what we are going to go on, we are going to go now and see how to download, because we need both. We need R and then R program and then RStudio. So let's first download also RStudio, and then thereafter we are going to move on with our PowerPoints and see see how the two work together, or what could be the difference between the two. I'm sharing again my PowerPoints. Now we are moving on to downloading RStudio. So what we are going to do, still, we are going to go to Google and put in this URL and see how we can download RStudio. It is that, and in this particular case, the procedure is very easy because the link is going to take you directly to the download. Still, what is going to happen, you'll find that as you downloaded R, we still have to download RStudio up to we get to the .exe extension. In that particular case, we'll be able to install RStudio on our computers. So I'm going back to, I'm going to stop sharing this, and then I share kindly feed in the link. So for us to download RStudio, this is the link that we are going to go to. The link has been sent in a chat. So the moment you have got this link in your Google, so you need to scroll down, and then it will bring a page like, you have to scroll downwards. I said scroll down and click on the free RStudio desktop to download. So when you click on that particular page, you're going to come up with when you move down, you're going to see something like this: RStudio desktop, open source license, which is free. So when you move down, the next step, as you're on the same page, you're going to see that you're going to see install R. This one we already have. So we need to download RStudio on our desktop. But this one is going to be easy. Scroll down up to all installers. And then down there, you'll be able to see the different options, still depending on your computer. We have for Windows, RStudio for Windows, then RStudio for macOS, and then Ubuntu. So for those of, like I said earlier, I've got Windows. So you click on RStudio -1.4.1717.exe. It is still got, like you installed R, it is the same procedure. Follow the prompts, and then RStudio will be installed on your computer. I already have RStudio on my computer, so I'm not going to redo it, but I'm going to give you time to follow into the steps. And then I ask in the chat if you've been able to download and install RStudio for those of you who had not done it before. Okay, somebody's saying that okay, let's work it through together. I'm going to go to www. I'm giving time to those who are still downloading. Okay, step number one, I say that we go to the website and put in the link that we sent, rstudio.com/product/rstudio/download. So this is what this is the page that you're going to get. When you get to this page, scroll down. When you scroll down, you see RStudio Desktop. We are going to take the free version, the open source license. And when you continue to scroll down, it gives things to do with the integrated tools for R, continues to scroll down. And then when you come down here, you click on RStudio download, you click on it. The moment you click on it, it will bring you to this particular page. And now your page has got RStudio Desktop 1.1.1717. This is the latest version. So you scroll down and then check which is the type of computer that you have. Since I've got Windows, you click on RStudio, the .ex file. It's what you click on, like the way you downloaded R. And then also follow the prompts. After the prompts, then it will show you that R download complete. So I'm checking in the chat to see if you've been able to download RStudio. If you've downloaded RStudio, please type 2. Okay. Thank you. Now, in case you have downloaded RStudio, click on it and see that it gives you a screen like this, a workspace like this one. Remember, we are going to see what R is, but we want first download everything. And then later, we are going to get the detailed meaning of what we are. The latest version for R, it's R version 4.1.1. That is the latest version that we have. However, in case you've used R before and it's not the latest version, you can still update it, because with R, within the R community, they keep on updating the different versions. So for now we have 4.1.1, that is the latest. But in case you had an older version, you can still update it. So I'm going back to the chat to ask, if you've opened your RStudio, do you have, and you're seeing the screen that I've shared with you, kindly confirm to me that you also have it. Type a 3. Okay. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Professor Susan, can you support the chat? There are those who are still saying they haven't yet gotten it. Some are saying that not yet because of internet connectivity, but as you keep following, we are going to be still to share the different steps such that we move on the same pace. I'm going to check in the Q&A and see if there are some questions, and then I attend to them. But so far we've downloaded R, and we also need RStudio because the two work together. Okay. If you had, somebody had 4.0.0, do I download for the first time? If you already have R version, you don't need to download it again because you have R already on your computer. All you need is to update. Professor Susan will still answer most of the question in the Q&A, but now I want to continue. I'm asking once again, can it work on every Windows? Yes, R can work on any window. It doesn't matter. Okay, can you please type, can somebody type 4 in case now you have R and you have RStudio? Okay. I have just downloaded RStudio. Right click on yes or no, click yes and follow the different prompts. Sorry? The last step. Let me share the steps and then we follow through them again. Okay, we are going through the steps again on how to download and install RStudio. We went on the link that was sent in the chat. We want to download RStudio. When you move down, when you get to that, you scroll down, you'll see features like these ones that you're seeing on my screen. And then step 2. So when you click the word download, you see, you're going to see this particular this particular page that I'm sharing. Then after that, continue to scroll down and you're going to see installers as step number 3. And you'll just go depending on the computer that you have, and then you download. For my case, it's Windows 10, but on any Windows, it is still work. RStudio for Windows, and depending on the version, the latest version is 1.41. And then you click on the installation file, which is this one, and has got an extension .exe. The moment you click on it, you give it time to download. After downloading, you follow the prompts that you will get. You click on the file installation to download, and then you follow the prompts to see that you've got R download with RStudio with you. If I'm to go back again, such that no one is left behind, this is where we started from. From our link, I've put it in Google, rstudio.com/product/rstudio/download. You'll come up with a page like this, what you are seeing. You scroll down, you're seeing different features of RStudio Desktop, and then we have a free version, download, continue to that. And now you can click on the word download. The moment you click on that, you will continue, you scroll downwards. Okay, I'm going to look at that. Now, when you click on download, you're going to come up to RStudio Desktop. Then scroll downwards and then check, depending on the computer that you have, click on, if you're saying my cursor, click on this, where my cursor is. You click on this. This is what we call the file installation. You need to download it like the way you did for R, and then later you follow the different prompts such that it gets installed on your computer. The moment that one is done, the moment after the moment they tell you complete, now you can check on your desktop, and if you're not seeing it, you can, on your computer, there is where on your left-hand side, type here to search. You can even type there RStudio, okay? You can type RStudio, and then a window will open up and it will show you RStudio. And then click on it such that RStudio gets activated or it opens. If you fail to see R still on your computer, go into the search button and type R. The moment you type R, then you'll be able to still see the R icon on your computer and click on it. So I'm sharing again. In case you've been able to install RStudio, this is how it's supposed to look like when you see my shared screen. In case you've been successfully, if you've successfully installed RStudio, I expect you to see this on your computer. I'm going back to the chat to confirm if now everyone has been able to get to this particular step. Can you type yes if you're done with installing RStudio? Okay. How do I respond to that? Okay. Yes, somebody is asking that when you say follow prompts, do you mean downloading or installing? It's installing because you already have now the file installation. So the moment the installation file downloads, the next step is installing. You click on it and then you install, now the next steps you'll be installing on your computer. Okay. Download is completed. Somebody is asking that, can we extract them out of the file? Professor Susan, can you do that and send just the files when they are not zipped, or you've already sent them? Okay, that's great. All right, now I think now we can proceed. Okay. In case you're using R, it's an older version. If you have failed to update, you can install again on your computer. It doesn't have any harm. You can install again, and then everything, such that we are able to move on. Somebody is saying that RStudio is taking time to install. Maybe it could be done installing. Okay, can you put in the chat? Is it okay for me to continue? Can I continue? Okay. In case you didn't see the RStudio after installing, check on your computer where there is a search button, such that it will show you where it is, and then you click, you type in RStudio, it will bring the app, and then you double click on it, it will open. All right, I'm going to stop sharing this and then get back to our PowerPoints. And as you follow, then in the meantime, I hope everyone will have both R and then and RStudio, because we need both of them. So that has been a great step done. Now we need to understand, yes, we are saying that we are going to use R. Okay, in case you've just joined, kindly check the installation materials that I sent and see that you have R and then RStudio with you. Well, there are many statistical packages that most of us have heard about, but I also need to know why R in this particular case. R is a free statistical programming language. You don't need to buy or get a license to use R. It is a free statistical software. It can be used by a scientist or a non-scientist, and you don't need to be a statistician to use R. It is a widely used data management statistical analysis that can be used worldwide. And it has got open source tools that can be used for analysis. That is why we are saying that what is R? You need to understand what you are going to use. And then on the other hand, you can ask yourself, why R? It is a language that is designed for data analysis. And then R has a set of tools available that can make writing codes easier. And the codes that you write can easily be reproduced, so it is reproducible, whereby in case you use some codes on one of your projects, the moment you understand how you've coded them, you can still apply them on another object, depending on the area of interest or what you're looking at. And then there are also lots of libraries or ways of extending R. Like I said earlier, you can, R has got different libraries that can be used. So depending on what you want to work out, you can get the libraries from the different packages in R, and then you continue to use it. Now, having gotten what R is, we also need to understand RStudio. RStudio is also free, provides a free and open source tool for R. Some people refer to it as an integrated development environment for R. Within RStudio, we are going to see different features. I'm going to open and then we go through each of them, since now we already have RStudio and we understand them very well. And RStudio provides features to make using R and managing R much easier. As we are going to see as we push on, that is what RStudio is all about. Now, it is important to understand the difference between R and RStudio. That is such that at the end of the day, you appreciate how the two work hand in hand. R, the first difference is that, like I mentioned earlier, that R is a programming language used for statistical computing. And RStudio uses the R language to develop the statistical programs. Okay? And then the other one, that you can write a program and run the codes independently of any other computer program. So within R, you can run your different codes that you want to have, R separately. But when it comes to RStudio, it has to be run alongside R for it to function properly. And then on the other hand, you can use R without RStudio, but you cannot use RStudio without R. Yet RStudio has got an interface that can support the different R codes, as we are going to see. So in this case, for you to run the codes in RStudio, you're supposed to have installed R. RStudio cannot be used without R, though R can be used without RStudio. But we need that too, such that we are able to execute our codes very well. Okay, okay, on this slide, installing R and R, this is option B. I'm not going to repeat this because we already have R on our computer. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go and share my RStudio and then explain this workspace that you're seeing on R and then RStudio workspace. I'm going to stop sharing this, and then I share my RStudio. Okay, when you click on RStudio, I expect you to see what I'm sharing. When you click RStudio, can you please type in the chat if you're having the same workspace that I'm showing? If you're on your computer, it has something that I'm showing you. Can you type yes, such that I know that we're on the same page? If you open your RStudio, you're supposed to have this workspace. Yes, somebody has written that I've got 4 screens. That is wonderful. We are going to get there. I'm going to also show the 4th screen. Okay, so majority of us have got the workspace that I'm showing. So I'm going to continue. If you remember very well, when I opened the R only, we're able to see, if you're seeing how I'm moving my cursor, we're able to see these wordings that I've highlighted. When you opened R, it was only one workspace. But remember, I said you can use R independently, but you cannot use RStudio independent of R. So when you open RStudio, this is the interface that you're seeing. When I go on my left-hand side, where you see RStudio, if you're seeing my cursor there, there is on top, we've got different words like file, edit, code, view, plot, and so on. So now, what I'm going to do, you come to file, okay? For those of you who have got only 3 workspaces, and then you click on new file. When you click on a new file, it will ask you RScript. When you click on RScript, that's now how you're coming up with the 4 workspaces. Because somebody was saying that for me, I'm seeing 4. All right, now we are going to go step by step to see the meaning of the different workspaces, such that we are able to understand, in case we get to analysis, what are we supposed to do. With this, now on top, you're seeing RStudio. When I consider my left-hand side on top, there is a box where you're seeing now when we went to file, new file, and then we have an RScript. This is my RScript. Within this RScript, I'll be able to type in the commands that I want. It's where I'm going to put, in case I want to install packages, everything is going to be done here. Whereas in the bottom one, which is the console, in this case, this is where all the R commands are executed. You do something with the moment you write something in the RStudio or in the RScript, everything is executed in the console. But we are going to see that, okay? We have got plots, all the things that we are going to learn them as we proceed. We see what each means, okay? In case you want to edit, in case you want to view something, what commands you're going to use. If you want to do plots, what is going to happen. Now, when you move on to the right-hand side, where we've got environment, history, connections, then tutorials. Within the environment, this is the most important. You'll be able to see whatever, in case maybe you import a data set. This is the environment that is going to show you everything that you're seeing, everything that you're going to be able to see, the data set, all the different things that you're working on within the environment. You'll be see that. And as we move on forward, we still will see, how do I clean the environment? And when you come on the right-hand side, the bottom workspace, we have the files, and these are the files on your computer. You can click on plots. The moment under plots, this is the space where all the plots that we are going to have, you're going to see them from here. And then we've got packages. Under the packages, you know, R is a very interesting software. it has got inbuilt packages. So in case there is a package that you want to install, you can go under packages. Of course, there are already some that are here, you check for it. Or you can, in case you have packages that you want to check if they're updated, you just come and click on update, and then you'll see a prompt coming up, and it will ask you, can I update all, or you just select the ones that you want to be updated, depending on the ones that you have. Or still, you can just get specific ones that you want. I'm going to cancel that. Also, you can, from packages, you can install various packages that you want to use from the repository, the Crane that I explained earlier. So most of the Crane has got many packages that are installed there, more than 19,000. And because it's an open source, they are within the R community, the network, they keep on updating different packages. That's why I was advising you that you have to make sure that you have an updated version such that you're not left behind. Maybe some packages in a different version might not work. So under this line package, you are able to type in the package that you want, and then R will bring it after typing it there, and then you can click install. Okay, but we are going to see how we are doing all that. So I'm going to check in the chat and ask if you are following, and I proceed. Okay, kindly type 5 if you're following. Great. Okay. So I'm going to proceed now with the PowerPoints. Somebody's asking, why is the console empty? We haven't done anything yet, but as we proceed, you're going to see that we are going to do some other thing. I just want to share now a little bit on the associated packages, and then we come back to RStudio. Okay, I'm seeing a comment that kindly re-explain the windows. When you look in our RStudio now, we've got 4 workspaces. Okay, how did I get this workspace? I can come and close that. Initially, I had only 3 workspaces. This one, you had it when you opened R. The console supports R only. That's why I was saying that R can work independently. As we move ahead, we are going to see the different things that you can do within the R console. Okay, like the basics within R programming. When you look in the console here, you see that if you're seeing this assign, the forward, in that particular case, R is asking you, the moment you see that it is prompting, it is asking you, what do you want to do? So the moment you see that prompt, then you can type in something. But for now, I don't want to go there, but it's where we are going. Since RStudio is integrated within R, I can be able to get an R script with an RStudio. So what I do to create a 4th workspace, I go to File. If you've opened R, you go to File. Then it will ask you New File. When you come to the new file, you follow it and then click on R script. Okay. Now, the moment you click on R script, it gives you an empty, it gives you an R script, which is space like. And then there is also a prompt, what do you want to put? So within this space here, it's where we are going to be typing our commands. The different, we are going to be typing our commands. We are going to install the packages that we want within here. And then whatever that we type here will be executed within the console. And whatever that we'll type or install, there is also, if you look with here, there is a run. So as we write the different commands, you'll be telling R that run the current line or run what I've selected. And the moment you run it, you run the command that you would have put, it will be seen in the R console. Yes. No. Mm-mm. It doesn't. Can I? Okay. Somebody is saying that he's not seeing my screen. No. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, we can.
All right. Okay, now we are going to proceed after the R console in the upper, in the left, on my left upper workspace. I've explained that. And then we also have the environment. We are having this on the right-hand side, we are having this other box whereby we are going to see that, I mean, sometimes when you have work toward or work that has been done already, you can be able to check in your history. Of course, mine, you will see that I've already done some work, and then you'll be see the history. Still, you can go and check in the tutorial. Sometimes maybe you feel like something is not yet clear. You can go in the tutorials and then you teach yourself to see how certain things can be explored. For example, okay, the different data types of R and so on within. Okay. And then when you move on to on the right-hand side at the bottom, what you are seeing, we've got files. These are the files that you already have on your computer. Mine, these are the ones that are on my computer. We have another icon for plots. Under plots, in case you plot a figure within R, it will be showed in this particular box. Under packages, like I said, R is a free software. So all the packages that we need, we can install them either by typing the command in the R script, or you can come under packages. You can update the packages in case you want to check if they're updated, or you can come and install here a package that you do not, that you need. You might be working and then you need a certain package. Sometimes you are stuck and you need help. I'm going to redo everything as we are working through R with an example. If you want to check this, what do you do, and so on. Okay, since it's a new language, let's try to go a step by step such that everyone understands. Upload, yes. Okay, somebody's asking what is a plot. Plot within R, any graphical diagram, any graphics that you'll do, it will be seen under this box. The moment you type plot, right now it's empty because you've not plotted anything. In case maybe you plot a pie chart, you plot a bar graph, you get a scatter plot, everything will be seen under plots. Okay, I'm going to proceed with the I'm asking in the chat, can I continue? Type yes if it is okay and we're on the same page. After installing, the moment you follow the prompts on of RStudio, then you need to check what on your computer. Sometimes you can get a shortcut on your desktop and then you click on it, or you can come in the search, type in the search button and you click in and you type in RStudio. It will be able to show you where RStudio is on your computer. It will show you an app and then you click on that. Okay. Now I'm continuing. That one? Is it okay? Okay, I'm giving you 5 minutes to ensure that everything is in place now. You've got R and then you've got RStudio. If you've got the different interfaces, and then we continue. Okay, in case you have a question, you can ask and then I'll handle that. Okay, we're going to go there. I am left behind. Where can I install RStudio? Okay. When you check in the teaching materials, once again, there are different steps on how to install R and then RStudio. You need both. Though you can use R independently of RStudio, but you cannot use RStudio independent of R. Somebody is asking what is an R script? Asking about commands, R scripts, and codes. Okay, I'm going to open again my RStudio and just answer only these 3, and then we see how we can proceed. Okay. Now, what is an R script? Okay. Now, as far as I'm going to take you back again, within an R script, this is where we are going to write the commands. Okay. Now, when you go to File, in your RStudio, there is an icon file below RStudio. It's like you're getting a paper whereby you want to write your program on how it's going to look like, and then later you're going to execute it and see how it works. I never wanted to skip some of the things such that we go step by step. Now, when you open file, it will ask you new, because most of the time, in case you're working on a project, you will need a new R script. You will need, like, okay, you can look at it as a Word document. You know, you open like a Word document, and then you start maybe typing in things about your project. So still within R, instead of now just reverse it, instead of an R script, instead of a Word document, I'm calling it an R script. But within this script, it's the one that is it's like a paper where you're going to write your commands within R, and you'll be able to execute them. Each time you put in command, you'll be able to run it. But for you to get a script in R where you're going to write, for example, maybe you want to, I'm going to just talk about it briefly, but I don't want to dig into there yet. In case you want to write a command for min, you want to find a min, it has a command in R. So when you write it, then you see that you ask it and so on. But I just want us to be on the same page such that we move together. So on new file, you come new file, and then you type after new file, hope you're seeing, then you click R script. The moment you click R script, you're going to just see space. There is nothing there. There's nothing that you're going to do. But you're alerting R that I'm going to start writing. I'm going to put in some things, because by the end of the day, you're going to type in what you want, and then you're going to instruct R that this is what I'm going to do. For example, in case you want to install packages, you're going to do it in the R script, whereby you'll be typing like install and so on, and then the different packages. But I wanted to explain more about it. I'm not going to continue with that for now. And you find that when each time you open a new script, it doesn't have any title. For example, when you look up on your right, on the left-hand side of the upper window, on below, you're saying file, then this is also a new file. Instead of following the procedures, you can also just click here for a new file. But the moment you open a file and you start typing in something, RStudio will ask you that, do you want to save? And then you'll be able to save everything that you want within the RStudio, such that next time you can be able to come back and start from where you stopped. Okay, I'm going to continue, and then I'll come back on this later, such that now I want to talk about the different packages that can support us as we are learning R. Okay, now, in case you opened your R and RStudio workspace, I got a screenshot of what you've just seen in R, and I expect you to have now four windows. I've got this one here, where I'll be typing my commands in case I want something. For example, I want to draw a box plot. I want to command R to give me, I want to install some packages. I'm going to do it in the R script. It is empty, so I need to feed in there. Whatever that I do here, the moment I click run, it will be executed in the console, the R console. I've talked about the environment. And I've also talked about what happens here in this bottom workspace, what happens. So I'm going to continue. You know, R has got associated packages that we can use. Since it's a language that is being developed, and every now and then it can be updated. And you can still go to Google and ask about the latest R version. So far we've installed the latest. So it implies that once R or RStudio is installed, you'll have base R and its associated packages. There are some things that already inbuilt. So we are going to learn how to add packages. Maybe to talk about a package, this it is like a collection of functionalities or operations that are needed to perform an area of interest. For example, we are going to understand, in case I want to import data, what package do I need? What package has got the functionalities or the operations that will support me to be able to get my data either from Excel and I bring it into R. So you're supposed to know that depending on what exactly that you want to do, which package do I need? And the moment you install a certain package, you don't need to install it again. The next time you come to use it on your computer, you just need to load it, okay? And in case you want to install R, we can do it using various options. Now, these are the different ways that we are going to use. You can go in your R script in case you want to add or install. These are, like I said, it's a parcel that you need. Still within these packages, apart from the functionalities that you need, each package has got a document in it that it can still help you to understand more what the package is all about, not necessarily the R commands. It also has the descriptions, the different documents that you can go across and read and understand it very well. So now what we are going to do on this particular screen, we've got various options of installing packages. I'm going to go through it, then I go back to RStudio and show you how we can install these packages and what is the relevancy. Because at the back of your mind, you're supposed to know, why am I using this? Why this package? Because like I said, R has got over 19,000 packages, which you cannot install all of them. So you need to know exactly, I'm going to do this, so this is what that I need. So we use a command, which is install.packages. If you're seeing my screen, it is install.packages, then open brackets, and in the inverted commas, you type in the package that you want. That is option one. Another option, we can go to tools, install packages in RStudio. I'm going to show you all this. And then you can also go on we've also seen that you can go to packages and then install at the bottom, when you look on your right-hand side, but the bottom workspace, you can also be able to install our packages. So among the different packages, the ones that we are going to see, most of the time we want to see, for example, we have what we call the readxl. The readxl, it's a package that you need in case you're going to import your data. It's going to read your data in XL and it brings it to R. There are other packages, but remember, like I've said, you need to know why this package and you install them accordingly. So as we move ahead, we will be installing various packages according to their relevancy. Still on my screen here, you can see I've got the readxl package. I'm going to show you how we are going to install this such that I'm able to get my Excel data into R. I've got the dplyr package. This one supports data manipulation. For example, we are going to look at how can you manipulate your data? Most of the responses, candidates, participants were asking that I want to know how to manipulate data in case you want to, to just get part of the data that you want to use. You can rename, you can subset, among others. And then the typeverse package also does the similar work as the DPLY. It's also for data manipulation. As we move on, and then the GGBURPR, it is for in case you want to do the plottings. So the moment you have got these packages with you, even if after using them and you've got another project that you want to do, automatically you will know that I need to export my data. So I need to install ReadXL. I will do some data manipulation here and there. I'll need a DPLYR package. I'm going to do plots because most of the time we do plottings. A picture speaks more words than the figures, and then among others. So now I'm going to go back to R, and then we start with how do we install packages? That will be the first thing. Okay. I'm stopping here, and then we'll go to RStudio. Okay. There is a constant question that is coming up about RStudio. In case you haven't yet seen your RStudio, you can go to programs, and then under programs, look into your program file. From the program file, you read out RStudio. And then within that file, check for the icon that has got R. Let me show you the icon for RStudio. Let me share again. Okay, the icon for RStudio, it is an R, okay, and it has got a blue circle. That is it stands for the RStudio. And then R alone, it is just this icon here that I've highlighted. If you want to see the icon for RStudio, it is R, and it has got a blue circle. RStudio, then R. In case you fail to see it, go on your search button on your computer. Go on your search button, and then on your search button, type in RStudio. The moment you type in RStudio, it will bring RStudio up, and then click on it and it will open. Okay. We are going to proceed now. We are going to see how do we install packages in R. I'm sharing my RStudio. We are going to do everything in the, okay, here we are. In case you open an R script, you go to File, New File, and then R script. I already have an R script, so we are going to start. How do we install packages in R, especially the packages that we are going to use for now? You type install dot packages. Actually, as you're typing, even you can see that it's popping out. So you can then in the open brackets, you can type in the inverted commas, you can type in the packages that you want. In this particular case, you can type the tidyverse. We need it for data manipulation in case you do not have it. And then install.packages. Also, I'm going to import some data from Excel. You can also read XL. Maybe in case I stop there, in case you want to install a package, after typing in install.package, for example, this one, tidyverse, you have to go and run R. For you to install, you need internet. And then thereafter, after installing, you won't need internet anymore. So in that particular case, after typing install.packages, tidyverse, where you're seeing your cache, you come and click run. I already have everything. For me, I already have the packages installed, but I'm doing it as a demonstration such that you're able to see. Okay, now, like I said, that the moment you click run, everything is executed in the console. So when you look in your console, you will see, because what R does, it goes to the Crane R project on the website, and then it downloads the package that you've requested for. So it will look at the different repositories, and then it will check where the package that you want is. In case you are successful, it will tell you that the package that you want has been successfully unpacked. As you're running it, it will first bring maybe the readings, that different red lines that is reading from the internet to see where it can capture the package that you want. And I don't know whether you saw it, it was showing red, but later it will show black, and you see a new prompt in the R console to show you that it is done. Okay, and then after installing the different packages, so I need the tidyverse. You can also install the readxl, and after typing in install.packages, and you put in the package that you're going to use, you have to click run. This run, it will help you to install that package on your computer. Now on the second one, still I've clicked run. What you're seeing, the prompt that comes out, it is downloading this package from the Crane on the internet. So the moment you've got the different packages that you want, what is important is that you need to load these packages in R, such that next time you don't need to install them again. So how do you load the different packages that you've installed such that you don't need to reinstall them again? You type the command library. These commands are inbuilt within the R programming language. All you need to know is that what command do I need to put. So you can type and say library. As you're typing, even itself, you can see that there is a prompt that comes out, that library. So within library, now you load the packages that you've installed. For example, I've installed tidyverse. Okay, it's even telling me that it's already installed. And I can also load library. I can load readxl. It's already there. All I need to do is to load them. So on each library, you also go and click run. The moment you click run at the end of each, then R will show you that R will load it such that you're able to use it. And you can see further what is entailed, what other packages are entailed within a certain package. I go back. Okay. I redo it again. Somebody's asking, how do I install packages in R? Like I mentioned earlier, that R has got its associated packages that you need to use such that you're able to do the manipulation that you want, or there is a, you want to do a chi-square, you want to run, you want to have a graphics or a bar plot and so on. And I mentioned that R has got packages. R has got more than 19,000 packages, which you cannot install on your computer. So you need to know that in case I'm going to do, in case I want to do A, B, C, and D, what package do I need? Okay. In the previous PowerPoint I showed you the commonly used packages that we need to use, especially as the starters of R. Okay, and for us to perform all the other operations within R, we need to install these packages. I mentioned that the tidyverse package, within a package, this it has got a collection of functionalities that you can use to perform what you want to do. And still within this package, in case you want to read further, there are descriptions. They are telling you, I mean, what this package is all about, its description. At times they even tell you that, they tell you the author who developed that package, because our programming language has got a very big community of people who come up with different packages, and they have to be tested before they are used. So one of the packages that I want us to install, when you go to okay, somebody's asking that, how do I know? Well, when you go to the R website, there is a menu that has got different packages, okay? And then you can read through. Or as you keep on practicing the language, the programming language, some of the things are going to get on your fingertips, and they're going to become very easy for you to use, because you'll get to know that, okay, I'm going within what I want to do, I'm going to do data manipulation, or I'm going to do some plotting. So I need to carry on, the GGBR plot, I need to carry on this and that. Okay, now with the tidyverse, for example, for it supports data manipulation. In case you get a warning message, that is okay. Now I'm moving on to, in case you want to install a package in R, okay? We use a command, install.packages. If you're seeing my screen, it is what I have there, install.packages. What we are going to do, we are going to install one package per package. However, as you get used to the program, you can install multiple packages at a go. And the moment you load them, it will be easy for you, because they'll be already on your computer. You don't need to install them again. Okay, now install.packages is a command. So you're asking R that I want to install a certain package. So within the bracket, this is my command. Within the bracket, then you put in what package do you want to install. Now, how do we do that? You go in the open brackets, you type in inverted quotes, and then you type in the package that you want. For example, previously we had tidyverse and then read XL. When you're installing a certain package, you will need internet such that it is installed. And the moment you're installing, when you click run, okay, and you look in your console, it will show you that, okay, now it is downloading. And the moment it is complete, it will tell you that a certain package that you want has been successfully unpacked or downloaded or installed. However, after installing it, you need to load it with a command library, such that when you come back again to use your programming language, you don't need to install it again. And in that case, you can even go in a certain place where there is no internet, and you can be able to work out your project without even needing internet, because you'll have everything on you. Okay, I'm going to stop here, and I ask in the chat whether you've gotten how to install the packages, and we install the rest of the packages and we continue. Because we need more packages, I'm going to install packages that we are going to use. I talked about the DPLYR. Personally, I've already installed these packages, but please run all these packages on your computer. Install packages. And then now we have the GGBU on the library. Okay. I'm going to get there. Install the packages. So I'm asking the chat whether you've been able to, these are some of the packages that we are going to use. Okay. Then now we need to load them using the command library. So within the chat, if you've been able to install the packages that we want and loaded them. In case you see that a certain package that you want, you're not able to install it, then it implies that the version of R that you're using is not up to date, because some of these packages they keep on developing them according to the newest version. Somebody's asking that how should we load them? How to load them, you use the command library. Please, I just joined the meeting. Let's proceed with the library. How do you load what you've installed? You type the command library, and then within the library, now you type in the package that you've installed. Please do that. I'm giving you 5 minutes, and then I continue. Can they what? Okay, as we proceed, still I'll be sharing with you the packages that we'll use. I'll share with you my script such that you're able to follow very well. In case, make sure you've got so far the packages that we want, that loaded, Tidyverse. You can also install package Learner R. We need all these packages because we are going to use them. Read XL package, and then the read R. I already have them installed, so I don't want to repeat them on my computer. Okay, now, back to, these are so far the packages that we are going to use. Sometimes in R, when you don't want to forget a certain package, there is what we call comment. You can write a comment. It's usually with a slash. The moment you put that, it means comment in R, that you're going to, it is going to act as a reminder that such that next time when I come and I want to use a certain package, I don't need maybe to Google it or to find out what it is. For example, I can say, well, because it is inactive, it won't be run. I can type and say that this one is for data manipulation. Okay, so like that next time when I come, I don't need to ask myself, what is it used for? And then I can say, and this one is to import data. I can say import data in Excel. However, you have to make sure that when you are loading these libraries, you should see them, whatever you run in the RStudio, it is executed in the R console. So you need to come and run these packages. You can run them at a go by highlighting them, or you can run one by one. For example, I can come and I highlight them and then I run. When I look in my console, as you run anything in the RStudio, look in the R console and see that whatever you're doing is being seen. So if in case you've loaded the libraries correctly, then you're going to see that they are seen in the R console. But in case you've not loaded them correctly, then you'll get an error. I'm going to the chat to ask, are we on the same page? Have you been able to install and loaded the libraries that you want to use? Please. That one? Tell him to install our tools. It's a package as well, but it's not required for now. Somebody's asking that which is the comment icon? Okay, somebody's saying that I'm going a bit fast. The codes have been posted in the chat. You can copy them and then and try to see. The moment you see that a certain package is not available for this R version, and that's why I get an error, then you need to update. For those of you who are using an older version of R, go to Tools and then check for check for package updates. I don't want to click on that because it might take some time. Please increase the size of your screen. The fonts are too small. Font. It's not working. How? I don't know how to do it. Okay. If you're saying that, check in the chat and see that the commands are there. I'm going to go in the chat again and inquire. Yes, somebody has posted that you can use update R in bracket and you put in the packages that you want to update. Okay. Okay, as we are working, some of your questions are being answered how to do something. Please follow the chat in case you have a question, then they are being answered on how to go about most of the things. So I'm asking again, have you been able to install the 5 packages that we want using install.packages? And also, have you been able to load them using the library command? We have installed but not loaded into library. Somebody's asking about the hashtag. The hashtag, it's not a must. It is just like you want to, it's just like you want to remind yourself. So each time you put a hashtag, it implies that you can put a short description, like, okay, with a tidyverse package, this one means I'll use it in case I want to do data manipulation. So in that particular case, it acts like a reminder and it's just a comment. So when you run R, it will be inactive. It will not run. It is just something inactive. I only see one package when I go. Sorry. No. Tidyverse is not the same. I think they're not using the right version. Is the moment it says that a package GG is not available. That's why we it is always good, like you always have the latest version for R. Okay, The moment you have an updated version, it implies that somebody is saying that DP1YR, R is case sensitive. In case you type something that it's not what is required, it will give you an error. Like the person who has typed DP, it is LYR, not 1. So that means that it will bring an error. Okay. When we are starting this this session, we went through the downloading and installation of the latest version of R, because most of the time, if your version is not up to date, if you're not using the latest version, then it implies that R will tell you that either it can't find that particular package, or it is not found. So it implies that you're not having the right version. The latest version is 4.11, which we installed when we were starting. Because sometimes it even warns you that this was built under this particular version. So the latest version you have, the better. How do we know that the package has been successfully installed? For you to tell that the package has been successfully installed, the moment you go on, after loading library, and you type in the library that you've installed, you have to note in mind that the moment you type install.package, it has to show you that it has been successfully unpacked or installed. The moment it is successfully unpacked, I'm going to repeat that again. For the case of Tidyverse, which package we need for data manipulation, I put a comment at the end of it as a slide. It's just like a reminder. A comment, this one means a comment. It is inactive in R. It just acts like a reminder. You can type in something besides your command such that you're able to come back again. Okay?
Hello, sorry, sorry, Ellen, please check your chat. I'm sending you a message.
Okay, for now, let's just install just a few packages and see if we've achieved that, such that we go step by step. I'm just making mine inactive. Okay, let's start with the Tidyverse. Okay, learner R, then a DPLYR, read XL, and then read R. if it tells you that DPLY is in use and will not be, it implies that you already have it, so there is no need for you to install it again. All you need to do is to load it. Dr. Sylvanus, can you comment to the entire team, please? You can speak.
Yes, please. Come again.
You had a comment. You can share with the entire team, the participants. Have the floor shortly.
No, it was to you personally, not to the.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay. I want to ask again in the chat whether, at least for today, let's check. If you've been able to install Tideverse, LearnR, DPLYR, ReadXL, and then Reader R. Kindly note, the package is GGBUBR. Thank you. It's GGPU. Yes, GGPUBR package. The one that we'll use for plottings. Okay. The GGPUBR. Victor, please collect that. It's GGPUBR. Okay. Now, if you've been able to successfully install these packages, how do you know that they have been successfully installed? The moment you run the library, with the moment you click at the side of each library and you go and click on run, you'll be able, when you check in your console, there will be blue. It implies that that is successfully loaded. And in that particular case, in case there is an error, then it implies that in case you see some red writings or the errors usually come in red, then it implies that it has not been successfully, installed. The package is GGPUBR. Professor Susan, can you share that, please, in the chat? In case you've been able to, if you've been able to install the library so far we need, please type yes and I see. Why have you put a hashtag? Okay, just to clarify, we type our commands in RStudio, and then they are used when you run them. You look in your console, which is the R now, and you see whether it has been successfully loaded. How do I increase the font? I don't know. In case you're saying that you are not, the fonts are a little small, we are sending the commands in the chat. But I think there is a way how you can do it. How do we increase the font? I have. Okay, thank you. Great. What about there? Are you seeing the fonts now? Is the size okay?
Yes.
Okay. Can I continue? Okay. Participants, I want to make more clarification that when we were installing R, we had R and then RStudio. However, you can't use RStudio without R. You need everything. We type, when you look at on your left-hand side, the upper box, where we got our R script, where we are writing our commands, for example, install R and then library R. Here, that is RStudio. And then the console, it is R alone. Why RStudio is important is that whatever you do in RStudio, it can be executed in R. And by the end of the day, you will be able to save your commands such that you can reuse them again. If you remember, I talked about reproducibility. You can still reproduce them again on a different project. So my upper box here on the left-hand side, that is RStudio. It's part of RStudio. What you're seeing down here in the console, that is only R alone. But we do perform the commands in the RStudio, and then we execute them in the console, which has got R. Is the difference clear now? Okay. Please check whether you've been able to load your library tidyverse. The comment just means a reminder, and it's inactive. R doesn't run it. You know, sometimes you run different projects and you can easily forget. So for you to keep your commands very well, such that even if you come back after next week, the slash will be, the slash tag will help you just to remember what a different package is used for. Okay, and if you've been able, at least let's learn if you've been able to install using the install command and then also using library. Somebody is saying that send us a recording, network failed. Okay, we'll do that at the end. So can I continue? Please type. The moment if you tell me yes, then it implies that you've been able to install and loaded the libraries. So the moment you have got the libraries and you have successfully loaded them, then it implies that now we are good to go. Somebody's asking that where do we click on save? My console. Hmm? Hmm? Yeah. Hmm. Okay. Now, as we are here, I'm going to pause a little bit my RStudio and then go back to the slides and then we come back. But somebody's asking, how do I save? Because I said with the RStudio, you're able to save your script and even come back. When you look in the RStudio, if below the line which has got the untitled one, if your work is not saved, it will that script will appear red and it will have a star on top. Are you seeing this? Where I'm putting the cursor? Here on where my RStudio is, where there is untitled one, there is a star. That one implies that your work is not yet saved. That script of R is not yet saved. And in case you close when you've not saved it, then it implies that you have to rewrite everything again. So what you do, you move down here where there is a save icon, you click on it, and then you save anywhere you want on your computer. For example, you might have, maybe you have a folder on your desktop that you called training and so on. So that is where you save your work. So from there, the moment you click the save button, it will ask you, where do you want to save? For me on my computer, it has brought to me a folder. I've got a folder which is module 1. So I can give it any file name that I want. For example, I can give it my name. And then I say save. The moment you save, since it is an R script, it will give you an extension of R. So here it has put Helen.R. Whatever name that you give it, it should give you an extension .R, which signifies that it is an R script, because various packages have got different extensions. Okay, so that is how you can save, and then maybe tomorrow or the other week you can come up with you can keep building on your R script. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing this and then go back to the PowerPoint shortly, and then I come back in R. So as we continue in R, sometimes you might fail to get to know what you are supposed to do, or when you're stuck somewhere. R has got an inbuilt R documentation that can support you to understand a certain package or a certain command that you really do not understand very well. And we are going to do that using the help command, or you can type question mark and type in what exactly that you want. I'm going to go back to R and show that and see how do we get help. And then also in R, you can look at certain basics in R that you can find. For example, R can be used as a calculator. You can add, you can create variables. And as we proceed, you can say 2 plus 2, and then you enter. We are going to do this in the console, 2 times 4, 2 to the power 8, and so on. However, sometimes you want to assign a variable in R. In case you want to assign a variable in R, you either use an equal sign, or you use a less and a minus to assign variables to a variable name. For example, you can say that my variable, I can call it X. If you don't want to call it X, you can say age, you can say weight, you can say anything that you want to say, that variable or age or weight is equal to 2. This one is the same as somebody who writes X less dash 2. R is case sensitive. So we are going to go back in the RStudio and see how can we use the help command in the R console or in the R command, and then how do we assign variables? Because when you're doing your analysis, you're going to keep using these basics to build further. Let's continue. I know and we've finished this particular part. Our Zoom is supposed to be 3 hours. So let's continue up to this part, and then we practice how we can do it in R. I know some of you are getting tired, but let's proceed. So I'm going to go back in R. I'm stopping on this slide, and then we give you more insights. Then R has got different data types, and which we are supposed to understand at the back of the mind. For example, it has got vectors, it has got matrices, it has got the logical expression, among others. And some of the most important key things that we need to learn among the different data types are the factors. You know, as far as data is concerned, most of the data that we have, it is categorized. For example, you can say maybe gender can be either female or a male. So that is categorical in nature. Most of the time, our data could be categorical in nature. And still you have to tell R that, you know, according to this variable, look at, execute it as a factor. According to the other variable, execute it as a numerical variable. So let's go back in R and practice the remaining bits, and then we will end there for today. I've stopped sharing. I'm going back to RStudio. I share. Okay. Now, what I want to start with is that sometimes I need help. Let's see, how do we use the help command? You can do it in RStudio, or you can do it directly in R. So when you come in R, now right now I'm in the the console, R console. So I can, because it is giving me a prompt now, it is asking, what do I need to do? I type in the command help. And then in bracket, I can put something that I want. For example, I can type, I need help on min. Okay. The moment you need, you come, then you enter. If you enter, check on your right-hand side, the bottom workspace in the help, which you saw earlier, where you're seeing my cursor. So it is showing you that arithmetic mean, it is giving you more details on how you can go ahead and maybe what you want to understand. For example, it gives you the description. Okay, it tells you the usage, how you can use that particular command in R. It gives you the different arguments within the command. For example, if this is my usage, it will tell you that X is an R object. And then you can also read about the different arguments. We are going to look at the NARM as we continue, in case you've got missing data and so on. It shows the values. It even gives you the references. Sometimes it can also give you an example that in case, for example, if I've got my X, which is being assigned, remember this is my assignment sign, less dash, I'm creating, it has given me a vector and then I want to calculate the mean. So it does all that. That is what the help command does. And also, in case you don't type the word help, you can, in your R console, you can type a question mark and then you type in what you want to inquire about. You can type a question mark and then you say mean. It will still, the moment you enter, it will still give you the same. Let's type something different. I can say question mark. If I come to the console, question mark, I can say I want to know something about the mode, then I enter. The moment I enter, I come back in this particular box on my right by the bottom box where there is help. It will still give me, it will give me a more description on how I'm supposed to use the mode. So most of the time as we transit through in data analysis, you work and reach at a certain stage where you feel you might be a little bit lost and you can ask R, when do how I need this particular command, but I'm not so sure how to use. Then you ask R and it will tell you how you're supposed to use it. If you want to store these commands, because here you can't store them, then you can type them in the RStudio, in your R script, which is embedded in the RStudio, such that you are able to keep them. And whatever that you do there, it is kept, because for it you can be able to save it. If, for example, you can say you want help. You want help on you want help on a certain test. For example, if you say test, in case you want help on that, so what you do in this particular case within the R script, which is where in the RStudio, in this case, you're not going to enter like in the R console. What you're supposed to do at the end, you put your cursor and then you click run the current line. When you click on it, then the command will automatically execute itself into the R console, like you're seeing here. The moment you run it in the RStudio, it will come down. And then when you check in the help, it will give you a description of what exactly you want to do with the t-test. And then lastly, as I wrap up on the using R as a basic, as a calculator, okay? You can come on your prompt and say, for example, 2 plus 2. Kindly, as I try out, you also do the same on your computer. You enter, it will give you an output. that 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. Or you can say 2 to the power 3, and then you click enter. Within the R console, each time you type something on the prompt, you're supposed to click enter to get the result. So your result is the one in the blue, on the next line, which is in the blue. You can assign variables like I mentioned earlier. You can say my variable X is equal to 9. So in this case, you're telling R that keep my variable X to be equal to 9, and then you can enter. The moment you enter, for you to check this, that it has been kept, you can come to your environment and check if that, it has now, when you look, it is showing that some of the things that you've stored, it is an X and it's a value which is equal to 9. You've stored it in the sense that you can use it ahead. For example, I can say, and in the R console, I can have 9 plus X, because I've already assigned my X to be equal to 9, and R has stored it like that. The moment I enter, automatically I'll have an answer. The moment I enter, it will give me 18, because you've already told it that my X is 9. R is case sensitive, so you have to make sure that in case you type small x, let it remain small x. Another example I could give, I can say my variable is age, and I say my age, I'm using another assignment, less than minus. I could say it is 30, okay? And I enter. I expect R now to keep my variable age. And I've said it is less than dash 30. It is an assignment. It is, if you don't use an equal sign, you can use less or dash, or less minus. And then the moment I enter, I come back here and it is showing me that now I've put another variable, age, which is 30, but it has also stored the X1. The X is also still there. When you look here, okay? Now I can still come and say, because I've already assigned it, I can say that 50 plus my age. If you're seeing clearly, I've put A as small a, but R is telling me that what it has stored, it is capital A, AG. So in this way, I'm able to correct myself before I get an error. Because if I just run that, it will tell me that it is not there. Maybe we can try it and see. So in that case, I've got age, 50 plus age, it will give me 30 plus age, which was 30 plus 50, it will give me 80. So in summary, what we've learned today was about how to install R, how to install RStudio, and then also how to install the different packages in R. Okay, then loading those packages in R. However, as we go off, I advise you to kindly take time and ensure that you've got the latest version for R, such that you don't get the different errors whereby some of them are saying that it was built under certain versions, so that we are all on the same page. And then we've learned how to use R as a best calculator and assigning different variables. Okay, for now, the assignment that I'm leaving with you, ensure that you've got R and RStudio clearly installed on your computer. At the same time, load the required libraries, because what we are going to start on tomorrow, we are going to see how to import data in R. because the moment you've got R and RStudio and you've installed all the required packages, then it implies that now the rest of the other bits that we are going to go into are going to be very easy for us, because the hard bit was this one, that now I already have the package. So now all I need to do, how do I put in the commands? What do they mean? And then how am I supposed to move on? Thank you so much for being attentive, and thank you for keeping on. We meet tomorrow, the same time. I don't know whether my colleague Susan has something to say before we close. Professor Susan?
And also unmute. Oh my goodness, sorry. Zoom is not responding. Okay, colleagues, participants, thank you for being attentive. We are going to try and get a Zoom link, and we will send it out on email, which is off YouTube, so that in case you have any problem, you can consult after the session. So once we get that Zoom link, we will send it to you so that you can consult both of us, and we will help you with either installing R or installing the packages or loading the packages and doing a few things in R. Tomorrow, we want to come back when everybody is at the same page with us so that we can move faster. Thank you so much, and we'll see you either tomorrow or after this session, after lunch. Thank you for being attentive.